I can go back to the same person who said, do you have proof that the ants are communicating? Do you have proof that your soul is communicating with this person's soul before they message you on WhatsApp? I can ask them, do you have proof that you love this person? Is there any proof? Is there a board of directors sitting down and a board of approvers going, oh, this is proven according to this standard and this safety standard and blah, blah. There's nothing to prove there because both of you have an inner knowing. The problem is when we lose our inner knowing and we just focus on what our eyes can see, and that's when all the problems on planet Earth start and continue. It's not you must discover yourself, it is self-discovery. So take all the time you need, relax, slow down, calm down, sit by yourself in a room like I'm doing myself right now without any distractions, and really start to think about this and start to think about life and start to experience life in a different way. Coincidence or collective consciousness. You know how, let's say for example, you look at a group of ants or a hive of bees or something of that nature. You might, after some experiments or some observation, see that there's some kind of communication going on. Now, you may not know exactly what that communication is or what language that is. And if we really want to be really stuck-minded, for lack of a better term, and go, oh, you think there's communication going on between the ants? Tell me what communication there is. There's no way I or anyone, or even you, can explain what communication that is just yet. Maybe along the way we might discover their form of communication. But so far we may not know. We may not know what the language is. We may not know what the sounds are. We may not be able to measure those sounds. We may not be able to identify the style of communication because even within language there's many different areas. So we may not know all that yet. We may observe that, hey, there is some kind of communication going on, because otherwise they would not have been able to build this nest, for example, or this hive. All these lions in a pride and out in the forest might have not been able to coordinate this attack on an ox or on a bull. I'm not saying there is communication going on, but I'm saying there can be. And I think we do know that there's quite a bit of communication going on. But let's leave that aside. Let's talk about ifs right now. Even if there is some kind of communication going on, we may not be able to tell what that is, right? So the same way, we do know that there is some type of communication going on between beings, even human beings, not just, reserved for the animal and plant kingdom and, humans don't have any other type of esoteric communication going on. We only have English and books and SMS. No, we don't. We're also beings, just like animals and plants. We are animals, in fact. You know that sensation, and this has been happening to me more and more as the collective energy of the planet raises. Sometimes you think of this person on WhatsApp and you're like, I have not got a reply to this yet. Or maybe you're thinking of them romantically, or whatever it is. And suddenly you go to their chat and you see their name, and you're thinking like, I wonder when they'll reply to this. And suddenly, their name, under their name, instead of last seen, it now shows typing. Like, how do you explain that? That was the same thing that used to happen in the past, where you think of someone and then they call. Is that coincidence? I don't think that's coincidence, obviously. I think that is the collective consciousness and our energy signatures, and really just energy, because we are all energy. Think about it. This entire person talking to you right now is just atoms. Just pause and think about that for a moment. I'm made up of atoms, fully, right? And so are you. And so hence we're all just energy. And so then, if you think about it that way, isn't it possible, and I know it is in my heart and in my intuition, that we're communicating even beyond the physical body? But I don't even need to say beyond the physical body, because the physical body is made up of atoms and energy. That's all there is. Everything is vibration and everything is energy. All this, if it just changes its atomic structure or molecular structure, and you can take this to a scientist and they would concur, everything would just dissolve and just become atoms and energy. Just based on that, if you understand that, you understand that it's not so hard to conceive or think or entertain the possibility that we could be connecting on very different levels with each other. That's why you step into a room and you talk about the vibe. You go like, it felt like these guys were just arguing before we got there. Did you hear a word? No. Were they frowning? No. They were all smiling. But how do you know that there was some tension there? You feel something. The thing is, these people who go around saying, it's not proven, so it's not real. It's can you prove that there's communication going on between ants? Can you prove that there's communication when you looked at the WhatsApp? Can you prove that you sensed something from them rather than it just being mere coincidence? Well, the simple answer to that is no. In your terms of proof, I may not be able to prove that, but then we need to examine the proving process, because this proving process is a man-made process, and we are talking about superhuman. Forget about humans, we're talking about superhuman concepts here that involve the entire universe and energy beyond what's written down, on a piece of paper. It's like, oh, it's proven, and all these people on this board of directors agree that it's proven, and it's peer-reviewed, and we're all up in each other's faces, patting each other on the back, going, yeah, it's a good job. This is beyond that. So in terms of that, if you're going to look for proof, you're never going to get it. But you know that something happened there. It's undeniable. As a soul, you know that something's happening there. You know that you love that man, woman, or in between. I apologize, I'm not an expert on what happens in between the men and women sex. I know there's a lot of movement about that going on planet Earth, but I must disclose fully, I am not an expert. In fact, I don't even know what they're called. Transgender, is it called? I'm not sure. I'm guessing here. So, but all kinds of humans, whoever you love, for example, and I mean true love, how do you prove that? If I come up to you and say, I can go back to the same person who said, do you have proof that the ants are communicating? Do you have proof that your soul is communicating with this person's soul before they message you on WhatsApp? I can ask them, do you have proof that you love this person? You married them. You've made them dedicate their entire life to you. I mean, well, strictly, nobody makes anyone else do anything, but you know what I'm saying. So you've maybe shown them or made them believe through your own actions that you love them. What does love mean? Is there any proof? Is there a board of directors sitting down and a board of approvers going, oh, this is proven according to this standard and this safety standard and blah, blah. There's nothing to prove there because both of you have an inner knowing. The problem is when we lose our inner knowing and we just focus on what our eyes can see, and that's when all the problems on planet Earth start and continue. So if we're never going to look into our inner knowing, and we're never going to trust it, then we're never going to experience life and possibility to its fullest. So that's what I wanted to urge you guys to do, but not with any slant or an angle. I want you to make that decision for yourself if you do, but I want you before that to think openly and think clearly and feel clearly, very, very clearly. Do you think that there is communication and a collective consciousness and energy floating around the universe at a level that's not merely coincidence? So that's something to think about. There's no right answer, there's no wrong answer. If you notice, this playlist on my YouTube channel does say spirituality and self-discovery. It's not you must discover yourself, it is self-discovery. So take all the time you need, relax, slow down, calm down, sit by yourself in a room like I'm doing myself right now without any distractions, and really start to think about this and start to think about life and start to experience life in a different way. Thanks so much for watching. My blessings are with you. There should be a subscribe link popping up somewhere around here and some videos either popping up here or here. Do watch those videos if you enjoy this channel. Subscribe and please like this video. It helps me to continue making such videos for the future and doing this full time. It is my passion to serve the planet and help the planet in mind, body, and spirit. Have a great day ahead. I love you guys. Bye-bye.